Welcome to Prakash Storytime, KP's KP11 Studios Storytime. Good day to everyone. As always, first I offer my prayers to my mother, my father, my guru, and all you guests there online. Of course, the people who are sitting here too. When I say good day, someone asked me, "Hey, this is a midnight for me, and you are calling it as a day." Or for someone it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m. For them it is night. And they were asking, how can I say good day? Day is a symbolism for light. Learning something, acquiring some new knowledge is also like having light. To me, that itself is a day. That's why I say, because you have decided to spend next 1.5 hour with me, I would say it's a good day for everyone. We have we have been discussing about Ramayana, Rama's biography written by Sage Valmiki, and analyzing it with a view of our own life. How can we make use of it? What guidance does that give to us? So far, we went through the storyline where Rama and three of his brothers were born to Dasaratha after a long time. Dasaratha was longing for the kids and he was very attached to Rama. He decided to make Rama the king after him. But Kaikeyi, his third wife, who wanted to keep him on the righteous path, because Dasaratha promised Kaikeyi's parents that whoever is born to Kaikeyi will be the next king. And he was about to go bad on that word and he wanted to make Rama. So Kaikeyi wanted to keep him at check, and also she did not want her husband to be called as a liar in the history. So she asked Dasratha for two wishes, which he promised her a long time back. One, Rama should go to the forest for 14 years, and Bharata should be made the next king. Dasratha could not take it, so he dies. Rama, along with Lakshmana and Sita, went to forest. Sita was abducted by Ravana. In the process of searching for Sita, Rama met Sugriva, who was, what do you say, who was beaten by his older brother with a small misunderstanding. So he was in sorrow. He was surrounded by his ministers. So Rama made friendship with Sugriva and promised to kill Vali, and he does that. Sugriva sent search parties everywhere, all the four sides of the earth. Three sides they came back. Fourth side, the south side, which is led by Angada, accompanied by Hanumanta and Jambavanta and lot other important monkey uh, warriors. Then they went towards the south. They had all the information that Sampati told them that he can see Sita in Lanka under Ravana's capture, and then Hanumanta goes. He travels, flies across that 800 miles of sea, the ocean. He reaches Lanka. He was searching for Sita. He first found Mandodari next to Ravana and he thought she was Sita and he was very happy. And then he realized Sita cannot be sleeping with Ravana or cannot take any comforts in the absence of Rama. So then he realized that this was not Sita. And so he was depressed. He was worried that he cannot see Sita. He has made so many efforts, but still he is not able to find Sita. And if he goes back to Rama and says that Sita is not found, then Rama will die along with him, Lakshmana will die, and Bharata, Satrughna, everyone in Ayodhya will die, Sugriva will die, and all monkey kingdom will also die. So he was getting all negative vibrations, negative feelings. Finally, he decided to find Sita. He prays Sita. He makes a decision that I am going to see Sita, the smiling face, the beautiful face, and the best woman or lady on the earth, and I am going to find her. Then he starts searching the only place that he did not go yet, the Asoka Vana, the garden, Asoka, which means there is no sorrow in that place. He was searching and suddenly he found a lady under the tree. So, this is what has happened so far. In the context, I want to go analyze how each character behaved so far under the stress. I've been hearing so many distressing news from everywhere, from India, within US, lost my friends' parents, friends, and friends, younger ones, old ones, or a lot of people. So they are all the victims of COVID. So such a distressing moment. And also, Northwest is known for its depression. So let's take some time to understand the reactions of individuals under distress within Ramayana, in the context of Ramayana, and see how they behaved, what kind of actions they have taken, or what beliefs they had, and accordingly, what were the results. From that, we can understand what will be our course of action. So, multiple multiple course of actions can be taken. Which one suits us? Let's look at each one of them. So, Dasaratha, first, let's take Dasaratha. Dasaratha was with such a heightened mood. He was thinking Rama will be the next king. That's the best day for him. He was very much pumped up. And all of a sudden, Kaikeyi wanted Rama to go to the forest. It was an unexpected move. Dasaratha could not take it. He went into depression. But remember, long time back, he by mistake killed a sage couple's son, and they have given him a curse saying that you will die when you lose your son. At that time, he took it very positively. He thought, oh, that means at that time he wanted kids. He did not have kids. So he was longing for kids. So he took it very positively, saying that, oh, that means I will have a son. Even though he had the curse from from the couple, sage couple, he still said, oh, to die for a son or with the love to show the love on a son, first I should have a son, which means I'm going to have a son. So he took it very positively. He knows that that's the end of his life when he is so uh, loving of his sons. But still, he could not help it. He fell in love with Rama in such a way that he could never let him go for even a minute. All of a sudden, he was pushed into such a cold storage where, nope, Rama is not going to be the king. Bharata will be the king, and Rama will be going out to the forest. What happened at that time? He could not come out of the depression. He even told Kaikeyi that I will die. If you do like this, I will die. And he was pleading her to let Rama stay. Fine, I'll give this kingdom to Bharata, but please let Rama be here. She did not heed to that request either. At that time, there was no one around Dasaratha to help him out of the depression. The lack of companionship, lack of support, lack of emotional support, or lack of person who can give right advice to him. He was alone, and he was pleading a lady who was bent upon sending Rama to forest. That's the worst case scenario. So, in our lives also, if we are getting into that stage, loneliness during the depression, loneliness is the worst enemy for us. That's how Dasratha succumbed to the depression and he died. Who else would have gone into depression at that time? We discussed Kausalya was saying, Rama, without you, there is no place for me. I will not be treated as queen anymore. I wanted to be king's mother. And if you leave, I won't be. So I can't live here. Take me with you. She was not ready to stay within Ayodhya and she was not even caring for her husband. She wanted to go with Rama. She was crying and she was pleading him not to do. And she was saying that, okay, as a mother, I am telling you, defy your father. But Rama sat there and spoke to her in the nice way and he convinced her. So Kausalya was lucky to have a person who is wise enough to tell her what she should be thinking. He says, Mother, if you come with me, who will take care of Dasratha? Who will take care of my dad? He is already depressed. I want you to be here. Take care of him. And also, 14 years, it's nothing. I will come back. And it is also my father's word. I have to keep up his promise. So I will have to go. So he convinced Kausalya. Kausalya was lucky to have Rama when she was in depression. So have a companion, have someone who is better than you or who can think rationally at those circumstances. Is Rama not depressed? Was he not unhappy? But still, he was thinking in a rational manner. We'll talk about Rama's depression. The next one is Sumitra. She had two sons. Kaikeyi wanted her son to be a king. Kausalya's son was about to become a king. But her sons did not have any future. One is dedicated to Bharata, the other one is dedicated to Rama. So Lakshmana is dedicated to Rama, Shatrughna is dedicated to Bharata. What does she have? She was losing her husband, and both sons are not with her in the sense they are of their own destiny. But how could she cope up with that depression was she knows what is her goal, what is her destiny, and what is the purpose of her life. Her purpose of life was to produce two kids who can support, one can support Rama, the other one can support Bharata, and that was her purpose of life. And so she was fulfilled. I have done my purpose. And going forward also, I will have to support my daughter-in-law who is staying with me. Now Lakshmana has gone with Rama, so who has to take care of the daughter-in-law? So her purpose was to take care of the daughter-in-law and also wish well for her sons. And she tells Lakshmana, be with Rama and take care of him all the times. So that means if there is no one who can support us at any given point of time, first think, what is the purpose of my life? Automatically, you will get the courage. So that's how Sumitra could get away from depression. Now let's talk about Kaikeyi. Do you think Kaikeyi was in depression or not? I would say definitely she was in depression because the entire world was making her a villain. On the other hand, she was trying to keep him on the righteous path. She knows that everyone will hate. To that extent, Bharata wanted to kill her. Her own son, for whom she was doing, if at all in the eyes of the entire world, if she was doing it for Bharata, even that Bharata said, I'm going to kill you. He stops because he says, I don't want Rama to disown me. Rama will disown me because if I kill my mother, he would never approve that. And for that purpose, I want to be with Rama. I want to be in the good books of Rama, so I'm not killing you. Imagine what happens to a mother when her own son wants to kill her. The entire world was looking at her as a big culprit. I would say she would have been in a horrible depression. But how did she come out of it? She knew that whatever she has done is for good, for her husband. The only thing she believed in, my husband cannot go as a liar in the history. So whatever it takes, I will do that. And I'm okay to take the ripple effects of it. And because she believed in what she did, she had the confidence. She said, whatever you guys are thinking, I'm okay with it. So that's the courage. That's another path we can take. When we are depressed, we will have to look at that path also. Now let's talk about Rama. One side, Rama was told that you will be the next king. All the arrangements were happening. He was looking at all of them. Sita was also praising him. Kausalya was very happy. And all of a sudden there is a word from Kaikeyi's house and Rama goes there. He saw his beloved father almost on the deathbed. He was pleading, he was crying, he was unconscious afterwards. And he did not know what transpired between Kaikeyi and Dasaratha, what really Dasaratha wanted. Only Kaikeyi told him that your dad wants you to go to the forest for 14 years and Bharata will be the king. So he never showed that mood, his sorrow, his sadness, until he met Sita. When he met Sita, he did tell her that it's my fate, it happened like this, you stay here, you don't come with me, and that's when he had tears in his eyes. We can take any meaning for those tears. Maybe he's worried about his mother, he's worried about his father, worried about his wife. Not necessarily he was worried about not having the kingdom. But still, these are all the reasons for him to be in the depression. But he believed on the righteous path. He thought, whatever my dad wants me to do, I will do it. I will fulfill his wishes. That's the purpose of my life. And I will have to do that. So again, thinking about his righteous path and believing that he is on that path has pulled him out of depression. And is that the only time he was in depression? When Sita was abducted by Ravana, he was in total depression. At that time, he was lucky to have Lakshmana next to him. Lakshmana could be in the depression too, right? Because his wife is not there. For 14 years, he just volunteered to come with Rama. And now all of a sudden, Rama started blaming Lakshmana for leaving Sita alone. So Lakshmana always thought Rama is my life. My purpose is to serve Rama, and all of a sudden Rama is blaming me. But still, he could get out of that. In the entire Ramayana, never we can see Lakshmana uttering any depressing word. He took everything that Rama said and said, Rama, let's find. We'll find Rama. We'll find Sita. It's okay. We'll find. That is because Lakshmana has the purpose. He did not have anyone to preach him or advise him that don't be in a depression, be cool, nothing. He had to control himself. He said to himself that my purpose is to serve Rama. That's all. Whatever Rama says, it's okay. He is in distress, in a distress mood. He lost his wife. That's okay. Again, purpose of life. Let's come down to Sugriva. Sugriva thought Vali died, so he took the kingdom. He was not ready to take the kingdom. His ministers forced him to take, because a kingdom without a king can not be run properly. So he became a king, and with some misunderstanding, of course, Vali came back and Vali was not ready to listen to him. He had beaten him to the pulp and threw him out. He was running from pillar to post. The entire earth he traveled to find a safest place. Finally, he found Rushyamukha where Vali could not enter. And he stayed there for good days. And how could he come out? He had his ministers next to him. Hanuma, Jambavanta, and some other ministers. They were with him. And they were always guiding him. Actually, Jambavanta tells him that, you know what? Vali cannot come to this Rushyamukha, to this hill. So let's go. First, let's have a footing. Let's have a safe place to sit. Until then, they were just running around, afraid of Vali. So Sugriva survived the depression because of his ministers who were giving him the righteous guidance. Again, when we encounter such circumstances, we have to have these people, someone who can talk to us. Now, let's go. The next person that goes into depression was Angada. When the time was over, the 1 month given by Sugriva to find Sita and come back to Kishkinda was over. And he was always doubting Sugriva's intentions. He was always saying that he is against me. He killed my dad. He will kill me too. And because we could not find Sita, he has a right reason to kill us. So let's die here. Not only he was putting his fate, he was deciding the fate of the rest of the monkeys too. Rest of the army that has with him. And everyone was ready. They said, yeah, you're right. Sugriva will kill all of us. Let my families, let our families be there in Kishkinda. Let them be happy. We will die here. And they were ready and they were lying on the floor. That's when Hanuma gets up and he scolds him. He says, I am not with you. If you want to take that decision, you do whatever you want. Me, Jambavanta, and some other people who served Sugriva, they said, we know what is Sugriva, and whatever you're talking is not the right thing to do. And dying, or I mean, committing suicide is not the right thing to do. Let's find Sita. So Angada had Hanuma next to him to bring him out of depression. Now, when Hanuma is in Lanka, he was not able to find Sita. One moment he thought he found Sita. He celebrated it. All of a sudden, he could make out that it was not Sita. So imagine when you have your feet in hot water and then you put your feet into the room temperature, it still feels very cold water. If you put it into ice water, what happens? It's even worse. It's a relative term. Similarly, if you're in your normal mood and you hear something bad news, it'll have a little effect. But if you are in a very good mood and suddenly hear very bad news, it's just a roller coaster ride down the hill. And so Hanumanta also had the depression. And he thought, I'm not going out, I'm going to die here. If I go back and tell Rama that I could not find Sita, he will die, Lakshmana will die, everyone in Ayodhya will die. And then, so he was going into such a situation, a status where he thought everyone will die. Then, who could help? It was only Hanuma who could help himself. He started thinking of all the accomplishments he had. He thought, I came here in the night and first I defeated Lanka, the demon, who is the who is saving this entire Lanka. And she did tell that her loss, I mean her defeat is the defeat of Lanka. That's a good news. That means I have done that. From there, I I saw the moon was bright and he was helping me to find Sita. That's a good thing. I could get to everywhere, wherever I wanted to, without being noticed. And I searched every place. That is also good news. Then why did I not find Sita? Maybe I've not made up my mind so strong. Now I'm making my mind strong. I am not going out of this place without finding Sita. And if it so happens that I do not find Sita, I will kill Ravana. That's my purpose of life. If I can't kill Ravana, I will capture him, take him to Rama, and then surrender him to Rama. Which means he first started thinking about all the successes he had. And then he created a purpose for his own life. I will find Sita. So that's what, when we make a decision without any doubt, that's the power of your subconscious mind. It makes it happen. That's why Hanuma said, I am going to find Sita and then only I am going out. Just in case, that means he's still giving an opportunity for us a failure there. And he says, even if I fail at that point, I am going to kill Ravana or capture him, give him to give him to Rama. That's how he came out of the depression. Now we have seen so many paths in Ramayana for the persons who are in depression. So if we recap all of that, one, we should have some good person next to us who can talk us out of that, who can talk about our successes, who can talk about the purpose of our life, whatever it is, but should be able to take us out. So, a very good companion is needed. If not, we should have strong opinion about our purpose of life. Once we have it, whatever is happening, we will reach that. Third one is writing down all our successes. Is it not that we have not had any successes in life so far? Write all of them and then say, when I could achieve all of these things, I'm going to achieve this one too. Boosting the self confidence. Or at least have a goal and you believe that you are going to achieve that goal. Once you have it, you will be out of all the depressions. So, I request all of you, whenever you see someone in a depressing mood, do not push them further into depression. If someone near or dear died, people just go and say, oh, we are very sorry for your loss. Yeah, he was very close to you. You're pushing them further. The condolences can also be positive. So, be that good companion for the person whoever is in depression. And if you are getting into that, we depression has multiple uh, scales to that, right? It's not that every depressing guy is about to die. It's not that way. We will have depressing moods, and during that time also, we have to come out of them very quickly. We cannot give too much of time for that. And that depressing mood can be, oh, you wanted to eat ice cream and you could not get that. As simple as that. Two, losing someone very dear to us. In any case, Sumitra thought whatever had to happen will happen. That's how she came out of the depression. She had the purpose and then she believed that the fate has it and whatever will happen will happen. So if you can think that, fine, you're out. If not, find a person who can pull you out of it. So I thought it's important to have a discussion on this topic because of all the depressing news all around us and especially with the Northwest. Let's get back to the story. Once Hanuma decided that he is going to see Sita and then he will come out, he started substantiating it by praying. Prayers, a lot of people ask, why should I pray? Is that God coming out here? Before God, you are sitting and then you are praying. You want this, you want that. It's actually not that way. You're self hypnotizing yourself and then saying that, oh, I prayed, so this will happen. Which means you are telling your subconscious mind that this is my unfulfilled desire, and I'm sure it will happen. That's how you are reinforcing the energy within yourself and you're believing it. When you believe in something very strongly, it definitely happens. So Hanuma also said, I will see Sita and go, and I know Rama will help me, all my father will help me, everyone, the creator, all the gods, whoever is here, invisible, they all are going to help me out. I'm going to find Sita. That's the confidence he had, and he believed in that. All of a sudden, it opened different doors for him. Then he saw Ashokavana and he started going that side. And then he sat on a tree looking around Suddenly he saw under the tree itself where he was sitting, there was a beautiful female sitting, and there were so many demons next to her. Now imagine, he just had a misidentification for Sita. Earlier, he thought Ravana's wife was actually Sita. So now his mind is not ready to accept that he found Sita. He started thinking rationally. Is this really Sita? Started looking at her and observing. He saw, yes, she is very beautiful, and she is wearing only one sari, and that sari was also totally dirty. So far, he was narrating, he was observing everyone very wealthy, very well dressed up. All there was no one who seems to be poor or not properly made up. So here is one female in the garden who is wearing very dirty sari and has no ornaments on her, crying. In the previous chapters, never they said there was one person in Lanka who is crying. Everyone was in their own ecstasy. Who could that one person be in Lanka who is not happy? Logically, it could be Sita. And then he, remember, she has tied her ornaments while flying over the Kishkin Rushyamukha, and she dropped that uh, all those ornaments, and Hanuma got them. So he started comparing that piece of cloth and the sari that she was wearing. That was bright because she was with Rama and she was very well dressed at that time. So when she tore a piece of it and put all her ornaments in it, tied it, dropped it, that cloth was just very bright. But this was not. So he started comparing. What if that was also dirty? Will it match this sari? Extrapolating. Always you have your rational thinking. Don't celebrate things so quickly. And don't say, I don't know. I hear so many people, anything you ask, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Then find the answer. You have been given a very powerful machinery, the brain. You unlock the power of it. So here, Hanuma said, okay, if that sari becomes dirty, it matches this sari. And then, what did Rama tell me about Sita? He said she's so beautiful, this, that. So he started looking at her physical attributes and comparing it with whatever Rama said. That's the second piece he did. Then he saw some of the ornaments, the remaining ornaments, on the branches of the tree. And he was comparing the make of these and the ones they found. In kingdom, for kings, there would be one team who will be making the ornaments. So generally, they will have a set or they will have a pattern. That's why Hanuma said, this pattern matches that pattern. That means everything is pointing towards the fact that this female is Sita, and also she is crying. She has been surrounded by all the demons. That means she is in the capture of the demons. Who else could that be? But again, he wanted to wait and he was listening to what was happening there. He became very small, even a smallest monkey he could become, so no one was noticing him. By then, it was getting early morning. He heard the good sounds from Ravana's place. This place was not too far from Ravana's place. Ravana got up. He had, I mean, his dress was all over, right? He was sleeping in the night and he was enjoying with his wives, all of that. So he just got up. Immediately, he thought about Sita. He just arranged his ornaments, dress, started coming towards Ashokavana, towards Sita. Here I want to highlight the importance of first 5 minutes of our day in the morning. When we get up, however way we are going to spend the first 5 minutes will define our next the rest of the day. That's why we are all encouraged to get up in a very good mood. And at that time, just stay on the bed for 5 minutes. Think of all good things. It can be whatever good things you have in your life or whatever good things you are going to do on that day. Nothing about what quarrel we had last night or yesterday or what did the other guy say to me. And oh, I'm worried. Today I have my one on one with my manager. I'm worried about it. Instead, those 5 minutes, get up, calm down, just lie on the bed, start thinking about good things. We had so many good things in our lives. It's not that we never had them. But the first thing that comes to our mind is whatever we wanted, will we get it or not? Or whatever has bad happened, we think about that. Oh, that guy cursed me. That guy used bad words yesterday to me. And that's how we are starting our day. And that mood will continue for the entire day. Is that what we want? So please give lot of importance to your first 5 minutes in the day and also the last 5 minutes before you sleep. The last 5 minutes also, think about all the good things because those good things are ringing in your brain. And when you get up, they come back. So you are making a foundation for the next day morning. If you sleep with bad mood, you will wake up with bad mood. So while sleeping, just ask yourself two questions. What value did I add to myself? Which means, did I help anyone? Did I help myself? Did I add value, positive value to myself? And what negative value did I add which I do not want to have? So that way you are having a retrospective. When we talk about agile methodology, then Scrum methodology, and all of that, we say your retrospective is very important, which people do not care for. But retrospective is very important because you are going to learn. You're reviewing what has happened, what is good, what is bad, and then you're learning from that. And you don't need to be a scrum master to do that. During the night, before sleeping, just question yourself. In Scrum methodology, every day they meet in a daily stand-up meeting and they say, answer me 3 questions. Every member is asked, what value did you add yesterday? What value are you adding to the projects today? Do you need any help? That's all, only those 3 questions. Similarly, as a human being, while we are sleeping, we have that capability. So ask those 2 questions. What value did I add? And how can I improve? And once you think about that and say, whatever is going to happen will happen. And it is for good only. Close your eyes. The 5 minutes, if you just think nothing but positive thoughts, you'll have very good sleep. And the next day morning, again, think about the positive things. Then your day will start very well and it'll continue also. If you have one on one with your manager and you are worried about it, you just say, okay, one on one, it will have whatever will have to happen will happen. And again, how can I impress upon him? What is that he's asking me that I'm not doing? He's he's not an unhappy guy always. If he's unhappy with me, if I'm having a problem with him, how can I solve that? Don't blame that person. How can I solve that? So have a positive spin to that and then go. When you have a positive spin and go and approach that one on one, you will definitely have that positive talk. I remember recently when I had my review, my manager was asking me, Murthy, are you happy with this review and the pay rise that I gave? I said, I'm not worried about it. I'm very happy. Whatever you have given me, I'm very happy. He said, yeah, this year we could not give raise much to the employees. I said, I'm not worried about it because if you had any chance to have a better pay rise, you would have given me. I don't see any reason for you to hold me back. I have total belief in you. Then he said, so, I mean, thank you very much for understanding and then giving me such a feedback. But I am always worried about giving these reviews because employees work for the entire year and my hands are tied with these economic situations. I can't give them huge pay rises, but employees expect it. And when I give this, yeah, I talk all good things that they have achieved and all. And finally, I say, yeah, I'm just giving you 1% raise or 2% raise, which is less than the inflation. They get wild. They'll say, what the heck? Why am I working for you for the last 1 year? Whereas for me, it was a positive spin. If I don't believe why he does not give me a pay rise if he can. What is he going to do with that money? He cannot put it into his bank if he has budget. He have to give to someone. And I've done my best. So who else he can give? So when I said that, he was very happy. So we walked out of that most worrisome one-on-one in a year where the performance is discussed about and the raises are discussed about. And we both walked out very happily. So have that mind. I'm not boasting myself. I'm just saying I want to prove that I've been practicing all these things. And people always ask me, why am I so happy? Yeah, these are the reasons. I will find at least one reason to be happy. There may be 99 reasons to be unhappy, but one reason is enough to be happy. That's what I'm saying. When you get up, find that one reason why you should be happy and think about that only. And while sleeping also, going to the bed also, you say why you should be happy. Find that one reason. So here, Ravana, he did not think about anything. He thought about only Sita. He started walking towards Ashokavana. He was followed by all his wives. And they were also with him throughout the night, right? So their clothing was not in order, their ornaments were not in order, but still they just followed him. They love him so much. It's not that Ravana is bad. He had that vulnerability towards Sita, or he knew that this is the only way he can get his moksha. That means the culmination. Whatever may be the reason. But all those wives were following him. They were having torches. They were holding torches to take him to the Ashokavana to Sita. Which wife would like to share her husband with anyone else? They knew Ravana is going to Sita. He is going to threaten her. He is going to plead her. But still, they loved him so much, they followed him. But is that the righteous thing to do for him? He is so educated. He is the grandson of that creator. He can tell people what is right, what is wrong. He is the king of Lanka. And he has won every god, every enemy. He won all of them. But still, he had that one vulnerability. So our downfall starts with one vulnerability. But we have so many vulnerabilities, right? So we have to identify our vulnerabilities and see, can we achieve them? If we cannot achieve them, that's okay. Have limited unfulfilled desires, not too many unfulfilled desires. So Ravana came to Sita, and Sita immediately pulled her knees up, closed her chest, and closed her stomach, closed her chest with her hands, and then just sat there with her head down. She did not want him to see her beauty. It's already 10 months. She was in his capture. For 10 months, that guy must be coming every day, luring her every day. And the same saga every day. But still, even after that, she has not given up. So Ravana came. Here is the typical male who lures the females. He came there and said, Sita, who is there here? I'm the only one. Why are you hiding your beauty? Just show it to me. You will be very happy. I will be very happy. Look at me. Look at this entire wealth here. So, any female is lured when her beauty is praised, or wealth is offered, or good things are offered to her parents. That's what he's doing here. He was first praising her beauty and then said, why are you worried about it? There is no one here. Show your beauty. And he says, you are worthy having all the wealth in this world. And I am the one who can give you. Come, whatever I have, I will give it to you. Take it. Third thing he says, whatever land I have, whatever kingdom I have, you can give it to Janaka Maharaja, your father. Give it to him. I'm okay. As long as you are with me, I'm fine with it. And he calls himself as a demon. Actually, he is the grandson of Brahma, the creator. But still, he is believing and he is telling Sita that I'm a demon, and in our culture, I can abduct anyone's wife. So I got you. I've done nothing wrong. It's okay in my culture to do this. Come over. You are not eating for the last 10 months. You have not eaten anything. What kind of dirty sari are you wearing? You are such a beautiful one. Just wear, come, say yes to me. You will get everything in this world. We will have our weak points in our lives too. We are lured by something that we wanted. At that time is where we have to stand still. Is this the right thing that I am thinking about? Is this what I have to fall for? So Sita thought about that and she said, I'm not going to fall for all of these things because Rama is the best person in this world and I have him. Why should I be looking at anyone else? This wealth is nothing for me. Maybe I don't know whether I can comment on this one or not, but I'm speaking this comment with a heavy heart. When I heard Bill Gates and Melinda Gates are separating, I was thinking, man, they are such good persons. They have done so much to this humanity. All of a sudden, after 27 years, they are breaking their marriage. I don't know what may be the reasons. They know the best, and they are more educated, more intelligent, more wiser than I am. But could be financial reasons that the corporate tax, the wealth tax that Biden is coming up, they wanted to avoid. I don't know, whatever may be the reasons. But the news of a wife and husband separating, it disheartens me. Here, Sita, with all the luring from Ravana, with all the hardships that she was having, she was not eating for 10 months and she was not changing her clothing, she was not taking any bath, nothing, but still she stuck to her husband and she said, he is there for me and I will go with him. And I have confidence he will come here. And so at that time, Ravana was saying, I have won everyone in this world. There is no enemy who can beat me. There is no warrior who can threaten me. And Rama is nothing. So I have wealth, I have courage, I have strength, I have everything that any female wants in her husband. So just come over. Look at the possibilities. Can Rama come here? He cannot. He's just a human being. And why are you after him? Just come to me. So he started using all the techniques. Then Sita took one piece of grass and she held it there and talked to that grass as if that grass is Ravana. She was sending him indirect message that you are to me like this grass piece. That's all, nothing more than that. And she was talking to that grass piece, saying that, oh, okay, if you are such a big warrior, why did you abduct me when see Rama and Lakshmana were not there? You planned to send them out. If you were not afraid of them, you could have fought with them and then won over them. But you knew that you cannot. So you sent them away, you abducted me. Why are you praising yourself? She's bringing his confidence level down. Until now, no one knew what he did. No one knew how he brought Sita. Everyone was saying, oh, Ravana is a great warrior. But all of a sudden, before all his wives, she said that, oh, you did like this. You ran away from Rama and Lakshmana, and now you are talking so great about yourself. What would be happening with Ravana at that time? He has to save his face before his wives. Immediately at that time, when we are cornered, we get so angry. So Ravana says, oh, I've heard a lot about whatever you are saying. Just because I love you, I'm accepting whatever you are saying. But in any other case, I would have killed right then and there, eaten away. You would have been served as a lunch for me. But understand how much I love you. That's why I'm sparing you. So he started threatening her. Then Sita said, I am the daughter of Janaka Maharaja. I have to keep up his reputation. I am daughter-in-law of Dasaratha. I have to keep up his reputation. And I married Rama. So I have to keep up his reputation too. So I am not going to fall for you. If I fall for you, everyone will talk about them. They'll say, oh, Janaka's daughter did like this. Dasaratha's daughter-in-law did like this. Rama's wife did like this. By accepting your offer, I'm letting down everyone there. How many people can think like that? We always think about ourselves. Am I safe? But Sita was looking at all the repercussions, and that's what her strength is. So she outrightly said no to Ravana, and then Ravana got his ego hurt, and so he tells the demons around that whatever may happen, you do whatever techniques you want to change her mind. And then he says, 10 months back, I gave you 1 year time. 10 months are over, you have 2 more months. Before that, you accept me. Otherwise, just at the end of the 60 days, on the 61st day, you will be served as lunch to me. I'm not going to leave you. If you are not accepting me, I'm not going to leave you. Again, either I'll keep you at heaven or I'll push you into hell. Where is the love? It's just lust. It's just the want. We see in many people like that. If you really love someone, do what is good for them, what they want. Of course, it's not that don't give whatever they want. Give them whatever they want, which is good for them. Similarly, that's the only way we can show our love. People say love wants sacrifice. That's a different case. I'm not subscribing to that. All I'm saying is love means it should be unconditional love. Oh, if you give me this, I love you. Otherwise, I'll kill you. What kind of love is it? Then his wives, they were understanding the precarious situation of Sita. They did not have the courage of openly supporting her, but they were giving her the courage from their eyes and just muttering something. Don't worry, don't worry. You're doing good. We are with you. And then one wife, Dhanya Malini, she came to Ravana and then said, Ravana, have this whatever drink. And says, why do you care for a lady who is not liking you, who does not want to be with you? I am here. I love you so much. I want you. You would enjoy better with a lady who loves you, who wants to be with you, than a person or a lady who does not want you. So why are you after her? Come with me. Let's go. That's good for her husband too. She wanted to take Ravana out of that situation. That is losing some more good words for him, right? Sita is always Sita is giving all the truth of what happened when Ravana was taking her from the place. And then she also tells him that, you remember in Janakasthana, your brothers were there, Kara and Dushana, the 14,000 demons. Rama single-handedly killed all of them. Now you do not have any presence in that place. You don't have control on that. Don't you remember that? So she started cleaning all dirty laundry. Now someone has to give an exit for Ravana from that situation. So Dhanyamalini came into picture and said, Ravana, let's go. And Ravana took that opportunity. Would he listen to anyone? No. When he wanted something, he would not listen. Even Mandodari, his own wife, was telling him, why are you getting into this? You have so many wives here. Let Sita go. He never heard her. And he loved Mandodari so much. So how can, any girl, how can she believe Ravana kind of a person? Yesterday or the previous year, he told someone else that you are my love, I want you in my life, I will give you everything. A year later, he's telling the same thing to someone else. So when we are meeting someone and he or she is asking for something from us, some favor, whatever it is, and telling that you are the best, think twice. How many times that person would have said the same thing to someone else? Don't fall for that praise. And so he knew he had to have an exit from that situation. And when Dhanimalini gave him, he took it. They went back. He was enjoying with Dhanimalini. What does that mean? If his love was true to Sita, he should not be thinking about anyone else. And before all of those wives, he was telling, Sita, I was just thinking about you. I'm not enjoying my life at all. I don't have any interest in these wives. If you marry me, all these wives of mine will be your slaves. The, the spouse, if you are letting your spouse down, that's the day of death. Because that spouse has come into your life with all confidence in you. And you're letting that spouse go down for whatever reason. Sorry, that's not the right companionship. Whereas Ravana was saying that all of these my wives will be slaves to you. And I'm not enjoying them. I don't have any interest in them. So now Ravana told these demons that whatever you do, you make this happen. So there are 4 ways. We call it as Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. Sama means talking very nicely, the good cop type of things, giving pros, why you should do this. You are the best person. You should be doing all of these things. Oh, there is no one else who can do that. So talk all that. That's the Sama. Dana is luring something. Oh, you will get this wealth. Look at this, look at that. You cannot have all of these things if you do not make this decision. That's Dana. Then Bheda is fighting. Saying that means difference of opinion, showing the difference of opinion and say, I don't agree with you. Fight. And Danda is punishing. Physically or mentally, whatever it is, punishing. But those are the only 4 ways you can get anything done. So Ravana said, Samadana Bheda Dandopaya. Use all the 4, but I want her mind to be changed. He gave powers to them now. As a head of the family, you have to think, who am I giving the powers? Are those right people? Here, out of rage, he said, I'm giving you all the powers, do whatever you want. And as Ravana left, everyone was after Sita. One lady said, what do you think? Ravana is such a big warrior. He won everything. He has so much wealth. You don't know what you're losing. You don't know what you're saying no to. You're, after all, a human. We are all demons. And he is ready to take you. You should find yourself to be very lucky and just embrace his invitation. Sama. Then the next lady came and said, he's saying that you will be the queen. Even Mandodari will be your slave. Mandodari was his wife. And she will be your slave. All of us will be your slaves. This entire Lanka, anywhere you go, you will be the queen. Dana. Then the third one came, Veda. She said, you're just a human being. What happens, you know? If you are not listening to him, we are going to cut you. We'll just eat you. Will be. So she was threatening her. The fourth one is Dandopaya. Another lady came and said, she just came on to her Sita as if she's going to just rip her apart. But they are worried. They cannot do that because if they rip her apart, Ravana is Ravana will not be happy. So they can't do it. But she was pretending to do that, and she was telling her that we would like to have you on my plate. And one lady says, you know what? Suddenly I have the desire. I want to eat the right side of her heart and the left side of her heart. That would be very, very tasty. And I'll eat her stomach also. Oh man, my mouth is just watering. I'm going to eat her. Then another one said, what is there? Let's tell Ravana that this lady is not listening to us. Let's eat. Let's not waste time. For all of that, Sita's response was only one thing. She said, I'm a human being, you're Rakshasa, that's your demon side. This will not happen together. I mean, we cannot marry each other. Humans have to marry humans, demons have to marry demons because that is a mismatch. And again, I'm married. In our human beings, one marriage is enough for us. We will just go with that one marriage. You do not know how good Rama is. But they were trying to threaten her, all of that. Nothing worked. And then she said, okay, Sita said, okay, kill me. Enough of it. I don't want to go through this ordeal. You don't need to be with me in the garden. You can go with your family too. So just kill me, eat, and go back. Everyone's responsibility is over. Is she afraid? The demons were threatening her. We will kill you. We will eat you. We will do this. We will do that. I will eat this part. I will eat that part. With one sentence, she said, okay, do that. Everyone's responsibility is over. What can they do now? Then, suddenly, one lady was sleeping. Actually, she was sleeping throughout this entire scenario. She was called Trijata, and she was daughter of Vibhishana. Vibhishana is Ravana's brother. Ravana had other younger brothers, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana. Kumbhakarna is always with Ravana. Whatever Ravana says, yes. But Vibhishana is on the right path, and he tells Ravana what should not be done. Every strong person needs to have someone next to him to have the leash to say what is right, what is wrong. Because once you have the entire power with you, the strength with you, you can do whatever you want. Once you know whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, you need someone to have that leash. And Vibhishana's daughter, Trijata, was also part of that team who were uh, guarding Sita. So she got up and said, hey, wait, whatever you are doing is wrong. When we think about it, what was going on with Hanuma? He got the confirmation that this is Sita who he is looking for. But looking at her status, one way he is happy he found Sita. Another side, looking at the status. How can he help? Outrageous, right? But he had to control himself. That was not the right time. So, what we have to learn from Hanuma's behavior at that time is is this the right moment? How much reaction can we give? We say just monkey. And some people say, oh, monkey god. So you call a monkey a god also. You treat a monkey as god. But in Ramayana, through monkey also we are learning a lot. He was controlling his emotions. He was crying there, seeing the Sita, her plight. But still, he was not showing any emotions, no reaction, even though Ravana was using abusive words, and then these demons were trying to threaten her. He was just amazed by the way Sita was handling all of that. Then Trijata told them that I had a dream right now, and I'll explain you what happened in the dream. She said, I saw Rama and Lakshmana coming on a white elephant, and Sita was sitting on a hilltop. They came, they picked her up. He had white umbrella on top of it. So, white umbrella is the significance of a king. So, she is saying that Rama is going to be the king. He is going to come here and take Sita with him. Sita will be rescued. And I saw Ravana drinking oil and going on a donkey. And he was wearing all black dress. Generally, black is supposed to be bad omen. So she was saying Ravana was drinking oil. That also, drinking oil is also a bad omen. Going on a donkey, riding a donkey is a bad omen. And going towards the south is also bad omen. In a Hindu culture, south means it is the hell. And she said Kumbhakarna also had the same fate. I saw Indrajit is the son of Ravana. He was also going in that. And I saw one lady with black dress pulling Ravana by leg. All these things are bad omens. And for Sita and Rama, Lakshmana, I saw all good things are happening. I saw her reaching sun and moon. It's a symbolism. In dreams, if you see holding or reaching out to sun or moon, it is said that you are going to be a king or you will be getting your kingdom. So she's saying Sita is going to be a queen. Rama is going to be a king. And I saw Lakshmana also. So better you plead Sita. Whoever harms Sita, Rama is not going to leave them. He's going to punish everyone. So you better be in good books of Sita to survive. And I also saw a monkey putting this entire Lanka to fire. Indication. So it's all, people call it a sixth sense. Or we don't know, when she was sleeping, the subconscious mind is still working, and we did discuss that subconscious mind has the power of connecting with the universal power. That's why we say you decide that I am going to do this, I am going to do this, or any unfulfilled desire. If you deserve, the subconscious mind will be talking to that universal power to make things happen. Here, her subconscious mind has been connected to the universal power, and that universal power was giving her the instructions. Because at this point, Sita needed some support. Sita was losing her confidence. At one point, Sita was thinking that what is happening? Rama never lets people down who believe him. Did he die? Or maybe he died and went to the heaven and everyone is serving him. He never even, he must have forgotten about me. Or maybe this is my fate that I lost him. I have to die. It's okay. Let me commit suicide. Depression. One more candidate. At that time, her wisdom comes out. She says, this body is given, this birth is given by God. I have no right to take it away. I should not die. I should not commit suicide. This is a message for all those who feel they have suicidal tendencies. This body is not chosen by you. This body is given by God to you, and God only owns it. You have no right to commit suicide or give death to that body. That's what Sita thinks. So now here, she did not have any companion to guide her, and there is nothing positive in that situation. She does not know whether Rama is still alive or not. And if Rama knows that she is here, because she is confident, if Rama knows that I am here, he will definitely come. Maybe he does not know. So she did not have anyone to give her courage. She does not have a situation that is positive or any indication of positive news. And one way, all these demons are threatening to kill her. Ravana is also threatening to kill her. So, total depression, and she wanted to die. Then she starts thinking about, do I have the right to die, first of all? I don't have permission. My husband, Rama, I don't have a permission from my husband. And remember, she has the power to kill Ravana. She even tells Ravana that I can kill you. I have that power. But I do not have permission of my husband, so I'm not killing you. That's the respect one gives to the head of the family. And because Rama is the head of the family for Sita, Sita was saying, I don't have his permission, so I'm not able to kill you. And she thinks the same thing now. I don't have permission from Rama to die. And third thing is, this body is God is the owner of this body. I cannot die. And she says, committing suicide is the worst thing to happen. So never ever think about that. And she also thinks that whoever can live only can achieve things. What can you achieve by dying? You're closing all the doors of achieving something by dying. So that's how Sita comes out of the depression. I don't think any one of us will be in such situation as Sita was. Imagine for 10 months, she did not know what to do. She has the most powerful enemy and she has been captured in his kingdom. She does not know what is happening with Rama, and she does not even know whether Rama knows where she is. And she does not know who can help him. Most helpless situation. And she was not bathing, she was not eating, she was not changing her clothes. Nothing for 10 months, just sitting under the tree there. What kind of a situation is that? And if she can come out of that situation, imagine we can come out of any situation. So she tells, then Trijata gives all this positive information, and she says, I believe that Sita will be rescued, Rama will be here, he is going to punish every one of us. Immediately Sita gains the confidence and then says, if you do not bother me, I will take care of you. Now she is using the Sama and Dana. She is saying, if you take care of me, if you don't bother me, I will take care of you. I will pardon you. I will let you have whatever you have. So, right away, she has the balance of mind. When we are depressed, we'll say, oh, everything is gone. I can't have it. If someone says, hey, eat something. No, I can't eat. I can't eat. What is it? It's a physiological need that you have to eat. We find a way or a reason. When we are depressed, we find a reason not to do things, not to do right things. But Sita is proving that even in the circumstances that she was in, she was able to think properly and take right decisions, and also lure other people to turn the tables. That's what she is proving here. So, with that, we are at the last 5 minutes for the day. Let's close with this good news that Hanuma could find Sita, and he knows that she has the courage to survive, and she has to talk to her. Now, for 10 months, she was in such a place where there is no one she can call as her supporter. All of a sudden, if Hanuma starts talking to her or Hanuma appears before her and says, "Hey, I'm coming from Rama, Rama sent me," will she believe? She'll be even afraid of him. She would not even talk. Why would she open up with him? So, all this time, Hanuma was thinking, what should I do? How should I approach? So, the next episode, we'll be talking about how to approach a situation, how to approach someone. You may think that you know that person, but that person is in such circumstances where she cannot believe anyone. How to deal with it? So we'll discuss those things next week. Any questions? Otherwise, have a nice time. Enjoy your rest of the week. And always remember, in difficult times, you have answers from Ramayana.